Hey, it's me for the second video, second installment of my little web series we can call it. This time we're in my glorious, beautiful basement. And this time I'm going to talk more specifically. I guess the reason I'm doing this beyond my own personal exploration is because the videos that I've seen like online have helped me so tremendously that I wanted to just add as much of my own perspective to the Commonwealth as I can. So for someone who's trying to understand an INFP, someone who thinks they might be an INFP, and wants to know more about someone who is pretty darn certain they are, or if you are, I don't know, any reason that you might be curious about how I think, we're going to delve into that. So introverted feeling is how I'm going to start, because it's what's most dominant. I conceal my emotions a lot, all the time, basically. Frankly, I don't see their need for expressing them so much. You can convey to another person, how you feel on a matter through carefully chosen words, usually, and it's like I find that in dealing with people, it's like if I want to, get what I want to happen, or get something to stop happening that I don't like, or something like that, without ruffling any feathers, it's best, I've always felt, not to let your emotions show as much. Maybe make it, you make it seem dull. If you're not so committed to this, it's a lot easier for someone to feel that you're coming at them from an objective standpoint. Like, if I'm really passionate the way that I'm, reprimanding you for something, it can seem like, or the way I feel is that it can make it seem like I'm, being too subjective, or, letting my emotions control me and affect what I'm saying, and, maybe rationally that isn't the right, way to go to be, and that would provide the person that I'm angrily, shouting at to, it gives them this, like, the something that they can hold on to in the argument, like, well, this person's just emotionally, strung out, and clearly I'm still in the right. But, if you keep a rein on your emotions, then, they can see you're cool and calculated, and what, what you mean when you're actually saying what you're saying, I guess. Trying to think if there's anything else, like another way that affects it. Why else do I conceal my emotions? It's like a sign of weakness. To be distraught over something, for example. I mean, I think everybody gets, develops that to some extent. I mean, we all cried when we were children, and we all don't cry as much as we used to. And that obviously, is one of the greater outpourings of emotions, that someone can do is cry, just weep. And obviously we all hold back on that. But I don't know, I guess it's like it makes the hurt inside that much more intense when someone else knows that you're going through it. Because you have to deal with acknowledging the fact that it's not just inside of you, that your emotional distress is even acknowledged by someone else, and that someone else is like changing the way that they're sizing you up at that very moment, because they know that you have been, emotionally disabled, or that sort of a word like that. Let's see, what else about introverted feeling? I value my identity like no other. It's like the thing that guides what I do. Like I have to be true to exactly what I am. And like just the fact of like finding this whole INFP, just the MBTI stuff in general, and finding like a slot that I belong to, that really sums me up so perfectly, has just done wonders for me in these last just couple days since I like got back into this and looked into it, and really actually started to grasp beyond the horoscope like paragraph, description, and like really see that there's like more to it, and like that it's proven, and like seeing that there are other people who talk a lot like me. It gives me this sense of identity, I'm one of these people, and that's so cool. Like it's the coolest thing that I've found like this year yet, I mean, it's only February, but I don't know. It's been pretty monumental. Like, but on the day to day, it's like it feels like like you're constructing, like I'm constructing my identity sometimes, because I stop and think, and would a person who is like me, but saying like me is almost like there's this form that is who is Ryan, it's like this perfect form, and it's what would he do, and it's not what would Jesus do, it's not what would this perfect figure from any any tradition handed down, not what would this perfect being do, it's what would who I think I am would do, you know. Let me try and think of a specific example. Like with my creativity, like with my art, um, it it's so hard to finish anything, like which is something that so many, like every other INFP person that I've ever watched on like a video always says. You always say, well, we never finish anything. Or we've got the drive to start things, but we never finish anything. And I think the reason that I never finish a lot of things, and the reason that I don't even start some things, is because I get so bogged down in like, well, I have to do it exactly how I want everyone to think, I am. It needs to reflect me exactly, precisely. Like it needs to be exactly what, I am capable of, and everything and nothing less. And so, I'll start things, and if I'm not good enough at something, it's like, well, fuck, like I can't do this, it's just, I gave up drawing, um, because I had never taken any form of formal teaching, and I didn't know where to look to get better at it. I was always just drawing from sight, and I could copy some things sometimes well, but I didn't really know perspective. I didn't learn it. I never got a chance to. But I gave up, as I was growing up, and switched to other forms of art because I felt like, my hand can only draw so great of a curve, but I can, I know all the words. I can write perfectly. It's fine if, it's just different. I don't know, but when I can, yeah, well, it's because if I can just look at something and say that's not good enough, then it's not good enough for who I am, right? Then I really, I just can't keep it. I can't keep at it. I have to just, I have to crumple it up, tear it up, and burn it, because that's all it's good for now, because it's not good enough. Um, so yeah, I guess I found a way to get there eventually. All right. What else? This will be the last one. Um, it kind of goes without saying, I guess, with how it's stated as the introverted feeling, and the fact that it's dominant. That I am in touch with my own feelings. But like the YouTube user Dave Superpower says in his videos, which you should definitely check out if you're in the boat of not knowing as much as you wish you could about MBTI. Um, it's not just, but what he says, it's not just about being in touch with your own feelings, but more so than others, over those of others, more like so in touch with your feelings, right? So yes, I am so in touch with my feelings, and it guides the way that I act more than the feelings of others. I am afraid of feeling. I'm most afraid of my feelings. That's the thing I'm most afraid of. Gosh, I can hear my cat crying for me upstairs, so I need to end this quick. I don't think I've ever done this before, so he doesn't know what to do. Anyways, yeah, in touch with my own feelings, right? I'm afraid of my own feelings because it's what affects me the most, I can sulk for days because I'm so sad because of something someone said, but they'll never know. And I think that's what's most important, is that they never know. And I think that's where I'll end, because I gotta go upstairs. So peace out.